Mollie O'Callaghan and Ariarne Titmus just swam the fastest 200 freestyles in history. Heading into day 3 of the 2024 Australian Olympic trials, we knew that the 200 free was going to be very, very fast. The Aussie women are just so good in the 100 and 200 freestyles, it's borderline comical. And while the field is impressive through and through, most expected the race to come down to Titmus and O'Callaghan. Back in 2021 at the last Australian Olympic trials, Titmus fired off her first major warning shot in the event. She had been fast before, but this was another level. Titmus threw down a 1:53.09, which sliced over a second off of her own Australian record and was just 11 hundredths away from Federica Pellegrini's world record, making Titmus the second fastest in history. At the 2023 World Championships, Titmus would be joined in the event final by teammate O'Callaghan, who had made impressive strides of her own in the event in the last year. Titmus jumped out ahead right from the start, and with just 50 meters to go, she was almost 3/4 of a second ahead of O'Callaghan, who was in the second position. Over the final 50, O'Callaghan made up the deficit against Titmus and touched the wall first in a roaring 1:52.85 to break the world record that had stood since 2009. Titmus was a very quick 1:53.01 to improve her best time and come about as close as you can get to the 1:53 barrier. Pellegrini, for her part, after having her record broken, used it as a chance to announce her pregnancy in the funniest way possible. With the fireworks from 2023 still fresh in everyone's minds, the stage was set for an explosive final at these trials. O'Callaghan got out to a slight lead on the very first 50, 5 hundredths ahead of Titmus, but at the halfway mark, Titmus had pulled ahead by 2/10. O'Callaghan closed the gap a little bit on the next 50, but the lead remained with Titmus. It would all come down to the final 50, with both swimmers well under record pace. And in a reversal of 2023 Worlds, it was Titmus with the faster final 50, as she pulled away from O'Callaghan to take the world record for herself in a monstrous 1:52.23. O'Callaghan, for her part, was also under her former world record with a 1:52.48. Those swims now make these two swimmers the two fastest in the history of the event and the fastest in the world this year by a massive margin. Both of those times are also faster than what Mark Spitz went when he set the world record in the men's 200 free as a part of his legendary 1972 Olympic Games, where he went 7 for 7 in gold medals. Looking at the splits from this race, it's clear that these two trained together as they swam the race very similarly. These two actually alternate who was faster on each 50, with O'Callaghan being faster on the first 50, then Titmus, then O'Callaghan, then Titmus again. The biggest split difference on any given 50 was just 0.25 seconds in Titmus's favor on the second 50, which just so happens to be the exact amount that Titmus won the race by. It's also notable that O'Callaghan improved every split except her massive closing split from last year. That could either be a sacrifice for more front-end speed or an area to improve for Paris. Speaking of Paris, these two become the clear gold and silver medal favorites in this event. Unless either one of them has a catastrophically bad swim, I don't see anyone breaking up this duo. The Australian 800 free relay is also looking very, very strong after this. Their relay from 2023 Worlds is the current world record, clocking in at 7:37.50. Adding up the top 4 finishers from these trials gets us a final time of 7:35.02, and that's without taking any relay starts into account. This is almost the same lineup as 2023, except Alani Pallister instead of Shania Jack. Now, obviously, every swimmer performing at this exact same level once again at the Olympic Games isn't always the most realistic expectation. But when you're going so fast and with the extra cushion of relay starts added in, I think that this relay record is in serious jeopardy come Paris. But will the 200 free world record get broken in Paris? And if so, who breaks it? Titmus or O'Callaghan? Let me know down below.